Hi, this is Andreas speaking from Kassel, Germany. This is the fifth part of our mini-series, Understanding Life Through Philosophy. The question today is philosophy useful? The answer is very short, yes it is. And I'd like to prove it to you by referring to three branches of philosophy. The first one is Aristotle and his idea of the inherent goal and virtues. The second one, Kant and his idea about duty. And the third one, John Stuart Mill with his idea of consequences. If you have watched the previous videos, you already know that a key idea for Aristotle is what is a good life. A good life longs for happiness, but happiness he does not understand like we do today in a very subjective way, but happiness as an ultimate goal of life. For Aristotle, everything has an inherent goal, or how it's called in Greek, telos. You have a telos for everything in nature, like animals, plants, trees, but also in social institutions. For example, a school, a telos is it's a place to learn. A public swimming pool, the telos is to go there to swim. So if you do something else, Aristotle would argue that there seems to be something wrong. The telos of life is happiness. And how can you achieve that? By virtue that is good habit and the middle way. So what you should look at in your life, what does make you truly happiness? What brings happiness, not in a material way, but in terms of friendship, love, relationships, and so on. What kind of good habits do you need that lead you to experience these things in the most wonderful way? If you do that and understand that good habits, virtues are important for your life, you will be more aware about what you do and how you do something. Immanuel Kant refers to duty. He is not interested in your feelings, in your emotions or whatsoever. He has the idea that everything you do, at least in a moral way, has to depend by a law that you give yourself by reason. If you do that, then you have to follow that law. That is your duty. To give you a very simple example, if you do something, at least a moral action, you should always ask yourself, is it possible to make a universal law out of it? That means, should other people have the same right to do so as you do in that single particular case? Or should I always be allowed to act in this way, no matter what the particular circumstances are? That maybe gives you a kind of guidance in your life when you put into question, should I do this or should I not do this? The British philosopher John Stuart Mill referred to consequences and happiness for most people who are involved into your action. So the question is always, what are the consequences of my action? And will I not only make myself more happy, but most people who are involved in that? But it's not that simple, because John Stuart Mill also makes a difference about the quality of an action. For example, should I read a comic book or Shakespeare? John Stuart Mill argues, if I know both of them, I will always choose the action of the higher quality, in that regard, reading Shakespeare and not a comic book. That means that education is very important. What should you do, or do you have to do? You really have to be open to get new things and be very open-minded when you reflect on your own actions. So do not only think of the consequences, but also think about the people involved, and also think about the quality of your action. So summing up is, philosophy useful? You can see with Aristotle and the idea of the inherent goal, telos, virtue and middle way. Immanuel Kant and duty, and John Stuart Mill, consequences and the quality of an action, that they can truly help you in your own life. They broaden your horizon about how to think about something. And that means you have a far better choice for yourself, for what you do, and finally for who you are. So is philosophy useful? Yes, it is.